Verbal or life.
Okay, welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel, battling MS. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. It's something that I always wanted to do for a minute, but I found a great video that I want to share with you guys and we could talk about it. By the way, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure to hit that like button. Hopefully, you're entertained by this podcast, or at least for today's episode. And you know what? What time is it? It's like 6:30. Waited way too long to get this started, but it is what it is. Now, hopefully, everything is working out as planned. Now, let's take a look. This is a video from Podcast Cringe. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Now, if you haven't seen it already, Jake Paul dropped one of his most cringy videos ever, and that's saying a lot. It was basically one giant ad for Netflix and his upcoming fight with Tyson in July, and it was...
By the way, let me just give a shout out. We up to 3,900 subscribers. So let me pay a little bit of respect. Everybody who chose subscribe to this channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is my newfound career after I retired. So I don't have to go to work 9 to 5. So this is my new 9 to 5. I just got to figure out the nuances and how to get more subscribers. And I think one way of doing it is to talk less about what the hell I'm doing and take more about topics in real life and be verbal on life. All right, let's take a look. And real quick, before I get started, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is an old man. So, oh man, it's going to be like, oh, I don't know. How they're going to pull it off to make the fight look real. But shout out to Mike Tyson. He's 57.
Was full of little gags and parodies of Tyson. He even went so far as to get a fake face tattoo, just like Mike's.
You heard it right, mother. Fighting Mike Tyson.
And then he did all these parodies of famous Mike Tyson moments, such as biting off Evander Holyfield's ear, various TV interviews.
Jake Paul is an entertainer part one. That's his main priority, to entertain the viewers, to get more viewers to watch. The man is a genius. That's the way to do it. And the more people view, the more money he gets. So all this, got to give him a shout out, got to give him props.
Where Mike went off script. They even CGI'd a white tiger in there, just like Mike, as well as parodying a bunch of classic Mike Tyson interviews. Basically, Tyson's carrying the fight promotion because, as you can imagine, the mainstream Netflix audience probably has no idea who Jake Paul really is. And if you thought the acting was bad in those clips, just take a look at these completely scripted conversations where Jake tells his family members about the fight, because, you know, cameras just follow this guy around, right?
Growing up, who was your favorite boxer?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike, right?
Yeah. But yes.
Because I'm going to be fighting him
No way.
in July
Dude,
on Netflix.
are you fucking kidding me, Dad?
Yeah.
Now, Jake Paul is way younger than Mike Tyson. So it's going to be a ugly fight. But let's see what Let's see what they agreed upon. Because they have to like practice and try it out and talk about who's going to win, in my opinion.
He's going to be the hardest hitting motherfucker you ever fought.
I know.
Dude, holy fuck, I'm going to be freaking out.
Yeah. I'm going to fight Mike Tyson on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Do it.
Oh my God! No
Oh,
way!
man.
Eat your ear. Better say the sorry.
These people just make money looking at the camera and talking, entertaining viewers like us.
I can't believe that was Nina's first question. What if he eats your ear?
Hang on. Did you guys notice that too? Why were Jake and his dad sitting there on the lounge watching the screensaver on the television? Come on, guys, check the reflections, Jesus. And why is Logan Paul sitting around wearing nothing but a towel?
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Jake Paul has been floating the idea of fighting Tyson for years now. He said everything from "I'm not stupid, I'd never step in the ring with him" to straight up calling him out a couple of years ago, which at the time caught everyone's attention. But the whole influencer boxing thing has been done so many times now that everyone thought it was basically dead in the water. Logan Paul was a pioneer with his exhibition match against Floyd Mayweather Jr., where Mayweather appeared to literally carry him through the fight, only to be overshadowed by probably the biggest fail in boxing history, Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis. Man, I'm glad I didn't pay for that fight. And so for the most part, Joe Rogan was happy to promote them and support what they were doing because he thought they were legitimate athletes with legitimate boxing skills.
What do you think about, like, now that they have, like, celebrities do guest masks, like Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul? Logan Paul actually does some wild.
Yeah, he's really good.
He does some wild.
He really does.
Jumping off the top ropes and slamming into each other in the middle. Like, that's some serious athleticism.
Yeah, I tell them, both those kids are half tough.
I always tell people, just forget that Jake Paul is a YouTube guy and watch him box.
Yeah.
The kid can fight 100%. And that Tommy Fury fight really showed that. I mean, it goes to a split decision against a legit undefeated boxer.
But then Mike Tyson entered the chat, and, well, Rogan's tone changed a little. Okay, it changed a lot.
The one thing he doesn't want to do is fight Mike.
No.
He wants to fight Mike, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't give a if he's 55. That's still Mike Tyson.
Mike's in good shape, too.
Oh, my God.
Mike trains every day.
He trains with Rafael Cordero.
All of this is promotion. Just give him the fight some more promotion. I mean, genius move in terms of making money. Hope Mike Tyson survives.
Who's a legend in MMA. He runs King's Mixed Martial Arts.
Yeah, Mike,
that guy can still f you up.
He don't want to fight Mike.
In this world with hormone replacement and vitamins and I don't give a if you think he's 55 years old. That guy will hurt you.
Yeah.
If Jake Paul's on the other side of the ring and he sees Mike Tyson just bobbing and weaving, he's going to have a recognition.
Yeah.
He's going to look over and go, oh my God, that's really Mike Tyson.
And so Rogan actually had the chance to discuss Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson with the man himself on JRE back in 2022. So like I said, this idea has been floating around for years now, and it's no doubt been going back and forth between the two camps for a while.
You know what's crazy? The fact that Mike Tyson doesn't really need the money. I mean, I would think that the guy had been in entertainment for a while. So it got to be a little bit more than just the money. At the end of the day, man, a fight is a fight.
When you get challenged by someone who's a guy like a Jake Paul, does that piss you off? Is there part of it that's just like
my no, it doesn't. I think it's awesome.
You think it's awesome?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
You think it's cool? That's awesome.
You can't take yourself too serious.
Right.
You know what I mean? The world will turn on you if you take yourself too serious. Who the hell am I to take myself too serious? Made all this money, got this reputation, and now I'm looking at people screw facing them now.
Right.
I have a great life. How am I going to be mad at somebody? Really, when you think about it. When my ego is not involved, how can I really be mad at somebody?
So clearly, Mike's living his best life at the moment, and he enjoys being thrown into these kinds of conversations because it helps him to stay relevant. If you don't know his story, he went from earning hundreds of millions of dollars to basically going broke because of his bad spending habits and unstable lifestyle. Nowadays, he's doing fine. He's got his own podcast, his own companies. He does cameos in movies and TV commercials. And when I think back to when he really came back onto the radar, it was probably the first Hangover movie back in 2009. So Mike's well and truly been to hell and back and everywhere in between.
That's so great that he hasn't given up. He keeps going and coming back. As long as you don't give up, life is good. So the man is making his money, but it's more than money. He's making his life. It's nice to have something to look forward to. So now he got a fight to look forward to.
The guy's seen everything, right? And over the years, he's built a reputation for being unpredictable. And, well, let's not sugarcoat this. The guy can be pretty wild, which is why he had so much entertainment value. Even Rogan got to experience this firsthand on his own podcast.
Mike Tyson's still fighting demons, man.
Wow.
Those demons are still there. Mike Tyson is the reason why this desk is this width. This is the exact same width as the studio desk in my old place, the exact same one. And I had a small one. I'm like, maybe it'd be better if I'm a little closer to the people. But then I did a podcast with Tyson. I did two of them with Tyson. One, when he was high, when he's running Tyson's Ranch. He had a little bit of a belly. He was jolly. He was just high all the time. We had a wonderful conversation. And then next time he came in is when he's preparing for the Roy Jones fight.
Oh,
and
wow.
He was jacked. And he made me so nervous. Like he was so keyed up, you could tell. Like he was ready to go.
Oh,
He was
wow.
ready to go. And I'm like, no, small table. I need to.
Joe Rogan is a great promoter, man. He really know how to set the scenario and get people pumped up about a future fight. Because look at how he's describing things. You know, you got to give the guy props. He's been doing it for a while, and he's good at it.
I need to not feel so nervous. I need to have some distance. So I was thinking if I was any closer to Mike, so instead of like here, if I was like this and he was that amped up, it'd probably like affect the way I was communicating with him. I'd be nervous.
He's an intimidating guy.
Oh yeah.
I did that video and I was in bed for a week. That was 30 seconds and I was in bed for a week. And it's not funny because it made me realize that this is big boy shit, okay?
Big boy.
It's big boy shit. You was
There
out,
it is right there.
Yeah.
A 30-second video in bed for a week. This is insane.
Wasn't really cool. See, I'm not the guy you have to say, hey, Mike, man, you know, you gained a few pounds. Let's kind of work it out, man. You can do it. Hey, you big fat dumb. Get your shit together. Look, you big fat mother. You're a fat, lazy mother. That motivates me. The right person needs to tell it to me, too.
Who the fuck's gonna say that to
Well,
you?
they do. Hey. I listened. Where was I? Was somewhere around Freddie? I went somewhere. What does it mean when fighting gets you erect? What does that mean?
It's a good question.
It means you're
It
weird.
means you're getting excited.
Yeah.
So that's going through your mind right now.
Well, that's how I get when I was a kid, and sometimes I get the twinkle.
The twinkle.
Yeah.
When you're running, when you're hitting the bag, when that heart's beating again, and you know who you are. You're Mike motherfucking Tyson. So when you're doing all this shit again, you're still Mike Tyson. Those thoughts have got to be burning inside you again. It's got to be pretty wild. It gets you orgasmic. That's a strange thing to say.
Well, that's just what I want. I wanted to find out because you're really bright, and I thought you would figure it. No, I'm being very serious.
No, I know. I know you're being serious, but I mean, no one will understand that other than you. Like that's your mindset.
Man, Rogan's forehead was working overtime in that episode. And so the reason why I find all of this so interesting is this. Rogan's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo. If you've ever seen him kick a bag, he's basically walking around with 2 baseball bats for legs. Now, this might be controversial, but I actually think Rogan would absolutely wipe the floor with Tyson. No question. Mike's one of the best boxers in the history of the sport, maybe even the GOAT, but that's in a boxing ring. If you're talking just a straight up fight with no rules, unless Tyson gets to Joe's ears first, Joe would either throw some leg kicks and cripple Mike or take him down and choke him out. Now, that's not to say that Tyson doesn't clip him first. Sure, Rogan goes down and it's all over, but Rogan has so many more tools in his bag compared to just boxing that I don't even think it would be a contest. But
I think that's why Joe Rogan is not afraid to talk to Tyson like that. He's not afraid of getting in anybody's face and talking calmly because he knows nobody can touch him. The man knows how to defend himself. And he knows that one of the keys of fighting is to swing first. Because whoever swings first is going to be the winner, in my opinion. But let's keep listening.
with all of that in mind, Rogan is still scared of Mike Tyson. What more of an endorsement do you need, right? I mean, Rogan's been ringside for some of the most brutal fights in UFC history, and he's completely comfortable in that world. So that's why I think this whole thing is a farce. Even at the age of 57, if this was a real boxing bout, Jake Paul could sustain some really serious head injuries stepping into the ring with Tyson. People are speculating that there's a no knockout clause in the contract, which I definitely agree with. But not only that, these guys are just trying to get paid. All that nonsense Jake's been spouting after he beat Nate Diaz, that he was going to put his head down and focus on improving his skills again.
And you know what? I wonder how many rounds are they going to give the audience? Because at the end of the day, I think it's all entertainment, you know, and they got to really rehearse and practice about what they're going to do to make it look real. Because on a real fight, Mike Tyson at 57, my God, we got to have the paramedics ready to pick him up as soon as the fight is over. But again, I think it's only going to go maybe 2 rounds. But to get the money's worth, they should go the full 4 rounds. Which is, for an exhibition fight, I think it's usually 4 rounds. It can't be more than that. Especially for old man at 57 years old. Shout out to Mike Tyson.
Against real boxers, no more pay-per-views until he's ready to step into the ring and fight for a championship. It was all BS. Jake was just trying to stat pad his record so that when they announced this fight, he'd at least have a few more wins under his belt and not look like a complete idiot, which he clearly failed to do. And there's also a legitimate argument that Tyson's ruining his legacy by getting involved with YouTube boxers, similar to how people criticized Floyd Mayweather Jr. when he fought Logan Paul. Even for Netflix, it's a questionable move. They've worked so hard to build a reputation for producing good movies and TV shows. They even moved into stand-up comedy and became the holy grail for comedy specials. And so it makes sense that they would want to get involved in the live streaming of sports events. But there's no way people are going to take them seriously if this is how they're starting out. I like the idea of Netflix branching out and bringing different forms of entertainment to their platform, but this ain't it, in my opinion at least. Either way, I guess they're going to win because I'll definitely be tuning in. I'm mostly interested to see how Mike performs in his late 50s. I think if he trains well and stays healthy, he'll easily win. But one thing I've learned about the Paul brothers over the years, they very rarely put themselves in situations where they don't have complete control. Remember the Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight at the end of 2020? How Tyson basically didn't throw any punches to Jones's head?
And you know what? In today's scenario, right? Streaming, viewers, getting people to watch, getting people to tune in. I think those two brothers got it set up. They know what's up. They know that it's all about getting people's attention, getting people to watch. And they've been doing it long enough that they know not to hurt each other. In terms of like these competitions, all I pray for is that Mike Tyson comes out of this in health. But these two young guys, they're going to be good.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see a repeat of that here. So stay tuned. It's 3 months away, and I'm sure we're going to hear more about it in the meantime. But for now, that's it from me.
All right. So, let me pause it right there. If you're still watching, thank you so much. Hopefully you got entertained by this episode and it earned you a subscription or at least a like. So make sure to hit a like on this video so I can continue to keep coming on and providing videos for you guys. I got to practice on me talking and articulating my ideas and my thoughts. Not that easy. Battling MS, Noel over here. I'm just being verbal on life and things that are happening today. But yeah, so that episode about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, I think is something that we all going to be watching. That and the presidential debate are the two things that everybody's pumped up to see. I mean, if you're into politics, I'm into politics, so definitely looking forward to the presidential debate and looking forward for the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight. Comment below. Let me know how you feel about this. And I give a shout out to the podcast. Hopefully they won't ban me for streaming it. It was a good episode. It's called Cringe Podcast. Podcast Cringe. That's what it's called. And what can I tell you? In order to do this job, to keep people's attention, keep people entertained, all it takes is practice. Doing it over and over again. I'm up to 3,796 subscribers. That's what it says. So that's a lot of people, in my point of view. I'm a retired school teacher from New York. Shout out to 134th Street, Harlem. That's where I grew up. And that's where my experience comes from. Harlem, New York, 134th Street. Come see me. Come visit. Come say what's up. But if you made it out the hood, hey, you did it. Step number one is to get out and then build your life outside of the city. Because living in the city, man, especially now that they have all the illegal migrants, and with the illegal migrants, that's where they go. They go to the hood. So my neighborhood is probably filled with illegal migrants. And now that they can steal is crazy. Now, I clicked on that second video. Today, I wasn't going to record because I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know what topic to talk about. That was really an issue for me.
Yeah, but what if he knocks you out?
Ooh. He sounds nervous.
I talked to his wife a couple days ago, and he's taking this serious, and he's training for it.
Mike is a beast. Am I speeding up the video or slowing it down? Because Oh, that's normal. Wow. They must be speeding up. He looks like a beast. Look at that.
Hey, but what if he knocks you out?
Ooh. He sounds nervous.
Just look away.
Comment below. Will you fight Mike Tyson for $1 million? I don't know. I think I would train for 6 months and then step in the ring for maybe a round. As soon as I see him getting pumped up, I'll just shoot myself to the floor.
No, like that will not be good, babe.
No, just look away.
Day 3. You still want to fuck with me?
And we're balls deep in the circus that is Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Haven't been paying close attention. And of course, everybody's got an opinion about who's going to win this fight come July 20 in Texas. Now, there are a couple of...
My money's on either being a tie. Well, you know what? Mike Tyson is a good guy. He's a nice guy. So he's probably going to give it up to Jake Paul, who's younger and got more fights ahead of him. So just to make Jake Paul look good, I think Mike Tyson's going to take the hit and going to take the loss and go all 4 rounds. And at the end, fight is going to go to Jake Paul. That's how it's going to play out. I bet you. There's no way Mike Tyson is going to look that young. He's going to make that young man look bad.
Of things that have caught my attention that you may have missed. Most importantly, we now have confirmation about to wear headgear and the full extent of Jake's brother.
I don't know what's going on with my internet, but it is what it is. Let's just keep reporting, and then this will be the last video.
Logan Paul's involvement in the fight. There's also a very short video that Mike Tyson dropped a few days ago that really kind of freaked me out, and it's got nothing to do with boxing or training or anything like that. So yeah, you'll see what I mean in a moment when I play it for you guys. But just quickly, if you're new here and you want to stay up to date with all the drama happening in the podcast world, hit that subscribe button and become a regular viewer.
Shout out to Podcast Cringe. They got great footage, and the guy does a good job.
Signature bratty style. He started the week off by trolling Mike Tyson, only to post again a couple of days later, revealing
that man is in a private jet. You know, I ain't never been on a private jet. It's on my bucket list. So, but if I don't make it, it's cool. Let's keep it moving.
His new training regime.
St. March, day 1 of training.
Let me pause.
You thought I was partying? We out here, high altitude, Colorado Springs, with the Olympians, Team USA Boxing. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm coming for you, Mike.
Okay, hang on. I've got 2 questions. Number 1, who is this guy? And number 2,
I think that's his father, number 1. And number 2, these guys know how to promote. The trick to the big money fight is promotion. So we got 2 big guys going in the ring. That'll get a lot of viewers. That'll get a lot of money. Man.
why is a cringe influencer boxer training with Team USA Boxing? Are they really that desperate for exposure? I mean, this is almost as bad as all the companies that pay Brendan Schaub to do ad reads on his podcasts that no one watches. But there's nothing new here. We all know Jake Paul's formula. He's the self-proclaimed problem child who can't be stopped, controlled, or humbled, even though he lost his only fight to an actual boxer. Now, Mike Tyson, on the other hand, yeah, something's happening here, guys.
He lost the fight, but he's younger. And he got the stamina to do a couple of more fights. But Tyson at 57?
And so many of you called it in my last video, and now it's happening.
What do you think about Tyson? Tyson fighting Jake Paul.
I love Mike Tyson, and I'm not a fan of anybody fighting at our age. But he's a grown man, obviously, and you know he's going to do what he's going to do. But I talked to his wife a couple days ago, and he's taking this serious, and he's training for it, and so we'll see how it plays out.
If you know what that means, well, you know what that means. But there is also a particular video I came across a couple of days ago that really made me stop and think, yeah, this just got real. Jake's got a problem on his hands here.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are my final recordings of Hot Boxing. I really enjoyed being a part of this journey and all the people that I met, the remarkable people that I met and interviewed. And by now, for me, this is my next chapter in life. Please enjoy.
You know, I got to give thanks that we living in the time of Mike Tyson. We living in the best time ever. Like everything that we see in front of us is amazing. You can't really want to live in any other time, you know? I thought it would be better to be live in the past, but right now when we have Mike Tyson, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, we have some of the craziest people on earth that are just role modeling and letting us know what can be done.
Enjoy the following socials at Mike Tyson and MikeTyson.com for my next venture, please. I love you all.
Okay. So Mike Tyson just quit podcasting so he can focus on training for the fight with Jake Paul. Let me just repeat that. Mike Tyson quit podcasting so he can focus on the Paul fight. How is that not one of the scariest Tyson videos you've ever seen? He's reading from a teleprompter below the camera. He's looking fit as hell. He's calm. He's articulate. Yeah, we all know how this ends. Well, let me come back to that because I want to show you a couple of clips from Jake Paul's podcast a couple of days ago where they discuss various aspects of the upcoming fight with Mike. And
look, Mike Tyson. I think everybody got so much love and respect for Mike Tyson. Maybe he wasn't getting those viewer numbers on his podcast, so he's switching to boxing to get more viewers. Because after the boxing match, a lot of people are going to be tuning into that Hot Box or that podcast that he had, just to hear how he sounds, how he talks, how he's doing after this fight. So that might be part of it, but it takes a brave man to step into the ring at that age.
clarify a few things regarding the terms and conditions of
But I shouldn't say that. That's a known fact. I should say something else.
the fight itself.
What was interesting too about the dynamic between you guys that whole shoot was that in the past, you and Mike have been so friendly.
Yeah.
You weren't friendly the whole time. We were there for 7 hours. There was no friendly laughing or giggling. He was like, it was like a different mode that he was using.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
scary.
It's weird. Like
Scary.
when
got
when
that
you
killer
sign
Mike
the
out of him.
contract, something changes, right? Like even if we want to feel that, it's still like, yo, we are facing off.
So this is obviously something new for Jake. He's never really faced an opponent that could seriously change the course of the rest of his life. And you can tell that the reality of the situation is finally dawning on him. On the one hand, he's about to get one of his biggest paydays in history. But on the other hand, it's slowly dawning on him that he's fighting Mike Tyson.
We have the footage of Mike's recent training. I think you should watch. I don't know if you've seen his recent training footage, but it's pretty absurd. I still think we're kind of grazing over his age. I think we should touch on that a little bit more. But this is him at 57.
Yeah, this is what I watched before I made the parlay that he was knocking you out.
So you have a parlay in
Wait, no. What?
the audible. Let me see this.
All this promotion, all people talking, it's just going to increase the bet or the odds. And also add bets like, is one of them going to live? Are they both going to live after this? I mean, one of them got to live. Just hope both live, because these are crazy times.
Babe, but what if he knocks you out?
Ooh.
He sounds nervous.
Just look away.
No, like that will not be good, babe.
No, just look away.
Jake's never been a great actor, and you can tell right there that even though I'm sure he's been studying Mike's training footage, there's definitely an element of fear as the reality hits that he's about to step into the ring with someone who was dominating the boxing world when he was still swimming around in his daddy's nutsack. And that's why there have been all these rumors about headgear and 18 Oz gloves, and even Jake tag teaming his brother Logan into the ring.
I saw a TikTok covering this fight. It was like the most stupid shit I've ever seen in my life.
We have it. I think we can pull it up.
Jake Paul is all set to box against Mike Tyson this July, but the rules in this fight are absolutely absurd. First rule is for Paul's own safety. He'll be able to wear headgear like an amateur boxer, but Tyson won't be wearing any of that. That gives Paul a chance to knock Tyson out, but with his headgear, Jake Paul won't get knocked out and won't get badly injured. Second rule is that Jake is allowed to tag team with his brother Logan Paul, but tag team isn't even the correct way of describing it, despite that being what the contract says, because he'll be able to bring Logan in, and they'll both be able to fight at the same time.
That's probably where you could pause it, because it's so sad that like millions of people believe that. It's fucking absurd. Like, first of all, there's obviously none of that's true.
Yeah, 'cause that will be crazy. A tag team, 2 guys versus 1 Tyson. I mean, other people would jump in like, you can't do that. That's crazy.
Like
Well,
no
they will
headgear.
see if you come in the ring,
no,
if you have headgear
like
on or not.
no, but they're so fucking stupid. Like anyone who believes that shit should not be allowed to vote. Like actually, there should be like these. I thought of this. I was like, there should be these hidden tests throughout life that like qualify you to be able to vote or not. And they don't know that they're like taking a test. But like the fact that these people are not only driving around on our street.
You know what's funny? He said you got to wear a helmet and you could tag your brother to jump in and both of you guys fight Mike Tyson. Like, that would be hilarious. But now we're talking WWE. We're talking here all fake. So the goal is to make it look real and to really have a real fight. But you know what? I'm going to say my piece because my money's on Tyson, at least giving a competition. I don't know about winning, but just being able to stand around for at least 2 rounds, that would be insane if Mike Tyson could stay on his feet for 2 rounds, because at that age, your knee starts to buckle. You start to get old. It's not the same thing, you know? And I don't know how much practice it will take, but I don't think there is enough practice. As a matter of fact, they're waiting. So he's getting older and older. When you're young and you're practicing, it's cool to wait. In 6 months, you're going to be stronger. But when you're old, in 6 months, you're going to be older. So you're not really going to be stronger. So that's what I'm thinking. At this point, all we got to do is cross our fingers and hope Tyson stays on his feet for at least 2 rounds. And hopefully these guys will practice on the low, in the gym, and just practice how they're going to move around in the ring. Like, what kind of a show are they going to put for people? Because the goal is to make it look serious. So they're going to put a show, and it's all about viewership, and the goal is not to hurt anybody. Like, seriously hurt anybody. All they got to do is make it look real. Plus, he already took a beating from other boxers, Jake Paul. So Jake Paul could take a couple of hits. But Mike Tyson, on the other hand, prayers go out to Mike Tyson. Comment below, what do you think? Who's going to win this fight? Where's your money at? And I don't think we're going to be able to stream the fight. It's probably going to be on Netflix. I think is what he said. If they're on Netflix, Netflix is going to make a lot of money. It's going to be a great fight. I'm glad I don't have Netflix, but somebody else does, and they let me use their account. It is what it is. Peace. Wait, what am I doing?
Verbal or life.
My name is Noel, battling MS, still walking and talking, and that's why I'm making this podcast here at Verbal on Life. Thank you for tuning in. If you found value in this video, hopefully I didn't bore you and you actually learned something about Mike Tyson. Go ahead and click on that like button and subscribe. The address up below. I'm trying to figure out how X works. It says I got 7 viewers on X. So those of you viewing the show, just know that I'm still alive, still walking, not giving up. I'm 44 years old and I cannot find Mike Tyson, especially with this debilitating problem I got. It is what it is. All right, let me try to stand up, because for me, standing up is a journey. It is difficult. And you know what I want to do more and more? I want to look at the camera and practice. Practice talking into the camera. It's actually a skill, and you got to keep your thoughts together in order to keep the audience, whoever is listening, following your thought or following your conversation. I got this one problem that I jump all over the place, right? Here we are looking at the Mike Tyson fight. At the same time, after that, I want to talk about other things. I want to be verbal about other things in life, right? Right away, I just jump to the presidential election. I know Mike Tyson and Trump are friends, very good friends. And that would be the best. If Trump walks out Mike Tyson, that would be the best ever. If you have Donald Trump walking out Mike Tyson, that's insane. That would be the best. You're going to get so many people voting for that man. There's no way you're going to lose. And no, to get Donald Trump to walk Mike Tyson out into the ring, but Trump wearing his ankle bracelet, because he's gonna go to jail next week. Next week they're gonna say if he's guilty or not guilty in New York, right? So if Donald Trump is found guilty in New York, the judge is gonna send him to Rikers Island right away. So if he sends him to Rikers Island, the only way he's gonna let him out is with an ankle bracelet. I think, I'm just assuming here. So if Trump goes to jail and then is allowed to go to the fight to see Mike Tyson and to walk him out with an ankle bracelet, you know how gangster that is? To see Trump with an ankle bracelet, I'll be like, yo, everybody gonna vote for him. Like, this man owes it to Tyson, a very good friend with Tyson, and he walked all the way to the gym, to the ring. See, I gotta learn how to communicate a little better. But that would be ideal to have Trump walking out Mike Tyson. So there you go. I mixed two conversations in one. What else I was gonna say? So yeah, next week I want to tune in to see. Oh, you should tune into my channel because we're gonna see if they let Trump out next week. Because if next week Tuesday, right? Monday's the final day. Michael Cohen is gonna be talking to the lawyers. So then Tuesday they're gonna give their closing arguments and send it over to the lawyer, to the jury. And then the jury have to decide past next Tuesday. Wednesday they're off. So Thursday is going to be when they're going to read the verdict. Is it guilty or not? So on Thursday in New York, it's normal not to, once you get caught guilty in New York, right then and there, they put the handcuffs on you and take you out back. They don't send you home. So that means that the Secret Service have been preparing for this moment. They've been in communication with the judge about how they're going to do it because you cannot lock up the Secret Service agents. So that means that they're going to just outright walk away from Trump. So that means Trump got to fend for himself in jail while he is going through his sentence. No way until he appeals. So this is going to be gangster next week. And I think Trump probably going to get an excuse to go to the debate, which is in June. And he's probably going to go with an ankle bracelet to the debate. That would be gangster. If you see Trump with an ankle bracelet going to the debate like, yo, I'm here. Let's do this. Talk about it. And then showing up to the Mike Tyson fight also with an ankle bracelet. That would be epic. First president or ex-president with an ankle bracelet. And then has to wear it all the way till he gets reelected in November. After he gets reelected, then they'll let him out because he could pardon himself. Well, I don't know if he's allowed to pardon himself from state prison. So he'll be in jail until November, and then in November he could get out. Or he might get excused by the governor of New York. Because if not, we're going to have a president that's locked up in jail. That would be too funny. So there you go, me being verbal on life. Crazy things happening. Mike Tyson and Donald Trump, that's how I see that relationship in my head. Now, I'm tired of sitting down. This is not easy to sit. Let me try to get up. What else is there to talk about? Big on the news, it says Mike Tyson, Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen got famous on social media selling merchandise. And so, the Senate, they had a fight, like high school chicken heads. You had AOC arguing with MGT, Margaret Taylor, MTG, Myler, I forgot her name, but it's MTG, arguing with AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez arguing with Taylor Green. I forgot her name. MTG. Michelle? I forgot her name. But they were arguing like they were in high school. Like, you could do that? You could argue like you retarded? All the women were just arguing like they were retarded. And I was going to do a video on that. The people in the Senate, the women of the Senate argument. Just like there was a Secret Service agent that got into a fight. And she got arrested. And it was a female. She was a DEI hire. A Secret Service agent. I was like, you cannot do that job and argue. That's insane. You're supposed to be protecting the vice. It was a vice president, Secret Service agent. So right there, just forget the vice president got into a fight. That's crazy. But what can we do? DEI hire. Wow, I was on this for 40 minutes. Let me see if I could get up and walk. You know how hard it is to get up and walk? Thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing. Noel battling MS here at Verbal on Life. Peace.